I'm using hello. If you're out there or watching in the replay, hello.
Hey guys.
Woo! What's going on, V? How are you?
I am. For lack of better words, I am.
Well, don't start your topic yet. Let's wait a few minutes for people. Don't get into the meaty stuff yet.
Yes, sir.
So, because I know you got some stuff you want to talk about.
Uh-oh. Turn my volume down. Sorry.
Hey, Sue. Hey, Jean. You guys, we're going to be doing some readings. And for those of you who show up first, if you want to get a reading, you put your first name and the word me, M-E. So right now, type your first name and me, because we're going to be reading 8 people tonight. So those of you who show up early on time, you're going to get on the list. I've got a list. I've got enough for 8 people. So your first name and then me, the word me, like, Mitchell, me, I want a reading. That gives us permission. So, and as we're getting some people here, okay, Sue, got you. Sue, you're going to be first. Denise, you're going to be second. Let's see, Robin. Ooh, Huffy.
I made it. I'm so proud you're not asleep, huh?
Jean, yay, Jean. Tiana. Only got room for 2 more. Hey, Mitchell, me. Okay, so I'm Mitchell, but you're Margot. So I'm going to assume, Margot, that you want that. Okay, I got room for one more.
What? We missed Sonia and Mindy.
What? How did I miss those?
They were under Huff.
Okay. Sonia and Mindy, and that's it. That's 9, actually. So we got them. Sorry, y'all. And you guys, if you've had one before or recently and you want to bow out, just let me know and I can put somebody else in. Because I'm writing down the extra names, but we usually don't get time to get to those. Joanne, Hillary. We probably won't get to anybody after Mindy. So yes, so I've got Sue, Denise, Robin, Huffy, Jean, Tiana, Margot, Sonia, Mindy. Hey Liz, hey everybody.
Hi guys.
So we got a good group here already. They're learning because there's like 12 of them already, or more than that, already signed up. So
right,
Mindy, it has been forever for you. So you are the 9th one. I put you down. You got the extra spot. Sue, are you sure, Sue? Okay, Sue, I'm gonna take you off. That way we can get to.
Thanks.
That way we can get to I think Joanne. Let me see who was before. Yeah, Joanne was before Hillary. So all right, thank you, Sue. So V. What's going on? What's happening with you? I let you start tonight.
Mouth. So as you guys can see, if you can see a little bit, I am in a kimono at this point in time in my life on this wonderful Monday evening. Okay. But this weekend, starting kind of like Friday, a little through the weekend, and today, I know the last live we talked about, finding spirituality and jumping into, what's going on there. And so what I have discovered and what I am finding more about and trying to learn more about is hoodoo, root magic.
Who what?
Hoodoo.
You do?
I do.
Do what? Some people know what I'm doing. It's a game, but I know what you're talking about.
So it's root magic. So I've been kind of diving into that. And so in doing that, I have been on Instagram and I have been following new people, following new hashtags to talk about hoodoo and learning and roots and blah, blah. In the midst of all of this, I have been trying to grow more, probably faster than I should. Wanting to learn, wanting to grow. And in doing this, a lot of comparison about what I am doing, what I'm not doing, what I should be doing, what this person is doing over here. And I lost sight of my own lane. So with that being said, I want to open that up to everybody out here. Has anybody ever lost their own lane dealing with comparisons of who you are versus what you're seeing on the outsides of you and not measuring up? So I just want to open that door for discussion because it really took me out, made me feel really heavy, almost like I wasn't doing enough. And if anybody reads my post, I wasn't doing enough, although I feel like I'm doing everything that I can, but I wasn't measuring up in some way. So I completely shut down. My body shut down. I woke up Friday with a raging headache. I made it a little bit through Saturday and Sunday, had some revelations. Health is one that was like, I'm taking a break. I need to pause. I've been doing a whole lot of passive work. And then I'm coming on tonight, and she was like, I thought somebody was work. I thought you were taking a break. And I'm like, I am, but I still have these commitments. So today I did not go to work. I broke out with a allergic reaction on my face, my eyes, my neck, so the universe is trying to tell me slow down. So I just want, like I said, opening up. I see a lot of yeses. I see a lot of preaches. I see a lot of absolutely. Every day is a struggle. So I'm not the only one that feels this type of energy, And I try to be as authentic as possible and as joyful as possible. But some days, joy ain't always there, So Mitchell, have you? What do you? Why I'm in a kimono because I took a cleansing bath before coming on because I still want to give you guys my best. I got some cleansing stuff from a friend of mine that's into root work, and so she gave me this mason jar full of all these wonderful goodies and whatnot. So I did that, and I burned some candles, and I did some things for myself before coming on tonight, so that I was prepared and ready, and basically washing off all of this energy of not feeling as though I'm enough. Insecurity is basically what it boils down to.
Yeah.
So Mitchell, do you ever feel this way? Because we see you, and you always seem to be on top of your A game. You're giving messages here, there, animals, people, loved ones, whatever. We never necessarily see you on a down day. And maybe that as light workers, are we supposed to show our down days? And how do you?
So typically, and I think this is part of my personality, that and it probably was because of growing up, the closeted gay kid, that I dealt with my shit privately. But then once I went through it, I shared my journey. I typically will not share when I'm in the middle of working through a process. And I personally do often work through things very quietly internally by myself. I know from years of therapy, trying to figure all my life out, 9 years to be exact, in and out, that it's good to have a good support system. So I know when I'm getting to a breaking point and I can reach out to someone. I literally would walk into, if anyone's done Gallup, you know what best friend at work means? I would walk into my best friend at work and I would say, if I close the door, and there's probably going to be tears. And this woman, she was like, oh yes, honey, let's close the door. And she knew, and she wasn't afraid that I could walk in and cry like that. But for me, I won't say, and I think because of how I grew up and the closeted, trying to break out of that closet, and then the tarot closet I'm coming out of, I think my confidence or whatever is strong, but where I do is almost the opposite, is I continue to try to add to my arsenal and repertoire. And Spirit has said to me so many times, you don't, it's when you're not distraction, but when you're trying to avoidance, it's avoidance. Spirit would thump me and say, you don't need to add yet another, modality to the work you do. You're doing good, because a lot of times I'll use a modality on myself, and then I think I need to do this for my clients, where I need to just stick with, which is in the last year, I've pretty much narrowed it down to psychic medium, animal communicator, and then mindfulness transformation coach, who uses things like NLP, EMT, EFT tapping, and as a psychic medium, I use the tarot cards, in that realm. So for me, it was one of those where, and I tend to read, and what is it called? Autodidactic, where you learn on your own. Yeah. I do love going to conferences and classes and certifications, but I tend to learn on my own because I think that keeps me from probably comparing myself to others. Okay. But my problem is usually continuing to push, thinking I need to work myself into my salvation, so to speak, come on. So that's where, again, and I had my come to Jesus moment over the weekend, which is what you mentioned, the animals and everything. Two things, I woke up Sunday morning and I thought, okay, I've allowed this symptom to go on long enough. And the symptom was, and I'll be blunt with everybody listening. One of the symptoms was my finances within this business go up and down like this. And it's an echo of my parents and my family business. You know, we would be on top of the hill, then we'd be down on it never was like steady. And I can look back and see how it was about fear and it was about this, you know, and I just told Spirit, I said, we got to come to grips with this. And then also with my body and my weight, but it's not so much my weight because I love myself, but it's about, you know, 9:30 at night when I'm standing in front of the refrigerator when I don't want food, but it's like, again, what is that about? And as I walked around the lake, I got the animals, literally, I got 3 dead lizards, 2 crickets, a grasshopper, and a frog. And I mean, it was like, you know, and it was like all these men showed me about things happening, getting ready, you know, so it was very interesting. And what happened with, and this is something I talk to a lot of my clients who do this kind of work as well, or have a basis of business that is about, you know, like contracted type labor. I used to, you know, I'm a businessman, so I'm like, I'm going to make X amount of money this month. And one day I had to flip it into, I'm going to minister, I'm going to work with, I'm going to help X amount of clients, and just shifting it from the focus of money to the focus of people. And I had to do that again. And it's funny because I've done this before. And finally, I literally wrote down my list right here of my goals, and it's no longer financial. It's how many individual clients, in person, virtual, and how many video tarot spreads I send out per month. Because that equates to whose life am I touching, helping, assisting.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, and that made it so much easier too, because that makes me want to do it.
Right.
And I also know that I have, I won't say deep issues about money, but, you know, I grew up thinking the wealthy people were mean and nasty and horrible. You know, I mean, because they were rude, you know, they thought they were better than other people. So that's something that I still kind of feel like I pull back on. So yeah.
No, I mean, and that makes total sense. And you know me, I'm a forever learner. I always want to learn and want to grow and expand. And I put it even on my Facebook. I'm like, look here, y'all see me looking a little more fluffy than usual? Like, I'm growing in knowledge. I'm growing in love. I'm growing right now, okay? But I find that when I get to this space where I'm taking in more knowledge and I'm learning new things, that I do pick up weight, that I do put on weight, because it's this, there is fear that's attached to it. Am I doing this right? Am I doing this for the right purpose? Is this going to make sense? Are people going to be interested? And we all know that, you know, weight gain and weight is just, it's protection, you know,
and grounding. And grounding.
And grounding. And even in relationship, protecting and grounding. And me being Taurus, Virgo rising, Capricorn moon, all earth, mama just sits here. I can sit here and gain 5 pounds. So doing absolutely nothing. But it's but no, this weekend has really shown me that I gotta put blinders on and not pay attention so much to what's going on the sides of me. And I've been reading the comments as I've been listening, and even Huff was like, yes, I feel like everybody around me is moving and having things good happening for them, and then it's me and like, what the fuck did I do to the universe to deserve this? So it's we get at this standstill and we can see everybody's path and movement, but we're just like, well, why am I not moving that fast? Or why am I not producing? Or why does it feel like I'm not?
Yeah.
But I have people that always, you know, send me messages like, oh my God, I've seen you grow and you're doing so good and that. And I don't see that from where I am. I just see like, I got to get better. I have to do more. I have to compete with what's going on out here, you know? And I'm sure it carries over into every part of the world and not just this psychic business or this part of the world that we run in, you know? But it's an energetic situation as well.
Yeah.
And the thing is that I love this life. I love this work. So putting it down, it's just like, but I want to do more. But I do have to take a pause. But I want to keep doing it. But I got to take a pause. So it's hard to find, you know, where's the extent of my responsibility end? You know, when do I say enough is enough?
And, you know, I think you're like me in this sense of I have to remind myself, because I am about, you know, growing and constantly growing. And I think I'm a pretty humble person. I know my ego can flare, but one day I thought, you know what? I think I need to put on my website that I presented at Reader Studio. And it just never dawned on me, because for, you're presenting in 2020 in main stage.
Mm-hmm.
I presented 2 years ago. And, and it's one of those things where this is the largest tarot convention in the U.S. and probably the second largest and the longest running in the world.
Yeah.
And we have been asked to step on that stage. And I don't think we acknowledge that. And part of it could be because we don't have a handler and a manager telling us we need to do it, but also we see it as, just one of those big stepping stones to who we are inside. Queens, not kings lording the castle over everybody, but the queens have the energy within them.
Right. No, and it's so funny that you say that and you say that out loud. Like, this Reader Studio is a big fucking deal. Like, it's a huge deal, But, in our minds and in our minds, like, okay, yeah, we took stage, or I'm going to take stage. But I'm always like, well, what's the next thing? Like, when does it stop? Or does it stop? Or, like, when it just, but no, you're absolutely right. Like, that's a big deal. And I'm grateful for it, of course. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, well, what's next?
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer telling everybody, oh, yes, Trisha, celebrate yourself.
Yes.
That is the message as well. And that's what I tell celebrate yourself. Every time. Don't wait for the validation of other people. Don't wait for somebody to pat you on the back, because then you will never feel as though you are enough, because you're waiting. And that waiting process gets longer and longer, because then you have to jump through more hoops and spend more fire and make more magic, because people get used to what you're doing, and now you're waiting for them to receive, but now those applauses come fewer and far and in between. So then you burn yourself out. And
when you just said that, and I think that is something that I might have learned early on, probably because, again, grew up closeted kid between two skinny athletic brothers. My dad, parents, everybody. And it was one of those things where all the things I wanted to do, the artistic, creative things, nobody ever supported me in it. And I love my family, and I am who I am because of that. So I don't, it's not a pity party, but it's one of those things where I literally grew up thinking, nobody really cares about what I do or what my hobbies and things that I want to do, because they spent hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars on my brothers for all their motorcycle, boat racing, and everything. And, they balked when I wanted a $500 trumpet, Yeah. So it was, I think I had to celebrate myself somehow, because, but also that made me, like we're talking, that made me able to walk out on a stage feeling confident to speak, confident, to say. And I mean, I opened up my own improv theater. I ran it, I hosted it for 10 years, and it was one of the scariest, most fun things I've ever done. But it also prepared me for doing this even.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know. It's like, I don't know. I've always grown up as, I was always different, always. But I always had this self-conscious issue, and a lot of it had to deal with my size and my weight for the longest. Grandma used to come around singing "Solid as a Rock." I'm like, Grandma, can we not sing this song? Can we not? Is that right? But even the cast and the cheer team, I was the heaviest girl on the team, but I could do everything that they could do. But even in still, people were like, "Oh my God, that's great," but I never felt confident, so to speak. I did it because I loved it. But it wasn't because I was just like, I'm confident. No, it was just I love cheering that much, and I just didn't give a shit. I had skirts made because none of them fit me, things of that nature. So I'm still in this process of 39 building confidence, and what does that look like, and what does that mean, and how do I express it, and do I have to express it, or does it just exude off of me? I'm still learning this process as I go along. For you, having to go through what you did when you were younger, I think that you kind of built that reserve, and built that to go, and me, I just, I came from a family, my mom was just kind of like, don't rock the boat, don't do too much, don't say, keep quiet, don't speak your mind. And so I'm still all these trying to let go of those old thoughts to kind of really grow and be confident in my own word, So Patrick says, I think we're all on our way back to our true selves. And a few people have said I should be doing this work, and it comes, down to confidence. Yes. The imposter syndrome. Yes, definitely. I'm just going back through and seeing what people have.
And what is it about grandmas? I had one grandma who was, just she smelled like bacon grease, and her house was not made up, and she was heavy, and she had the wings of love, and we played card games, and we just got along. And then I had the other grandma whose hair was perfect, who exercised every day of her life, and when she would grab my arm, she goes, "Oh, your skin is so tight." Well, basically, what that translated to a 13-year-old boy was, "You're fat." Yep.
Yeah, that part. Yes. Diane said, "How long has it been since your dad's been gone? Because grief has done a number on me. It's almost a year since we lost him." Yes, it'll be 2 years in October that I lost my dad. And I recognize, grief and when it hits, and grief is not something that goes away. It's something that you revisit often, but you sit through it and you go through it versus trying to stuff it and control it. You just let it overtake you. And each time it gets better, each time it gets stronger, but also try to input new memories or new thoughts. I wear him, I have him on now, my cremation locket, I have his ashes, it's an angel wing.
Oh, beautiful.
So I wear him every day. He becomes a pendulum when I need to make decisions, and he helps me out.
Is Troy doing some kind of code, or is he tagging people?
I think he's tagging people, but they're not showing up because they might not follow. Hey, Wilma. But yeah, so it's a test. Every day is a new day. And so with this bath that I just took, I was just like, you know what? Threw some Himalayan sea salt in there, and I was just like, wash away all this negativity. I want to step out of this bath with BDE, and I just tell my friend what BDE is. Do you know what BDE is? Does everybody know what BDE is out there?
No.
BDE is big dick energy.
Oh my gosh.
So
it's not BBED? BBDE?
So I had to
big energy.
Oh, I can't. No.
So, hey, here's what, and I have a whole page of mantras that I do every morning in my quiet time, but this is something I added in most recently, probably a year ago. What is new for me today, and how may I receive it? And that's something I ask every day. And I have to, when I get to that, I run through a lot of them, just like this moat going through it, just remote. What is that? No, just what do you call it? Moat? Where you just go. Wrote. Just going over it. And then when I get to that one, I always pause and I go, what is new for me today, and how may I receive it? And then I just wait for the journey. That's what it's like.
I love it. Yeah, so people are, the BDE. Yes, well, it is energy. It's a state of mind. So, yeah, it's believing who and what you are. Yeah. Because once you believe it, you present it without doubt, So, all that to say, where are we on time, Mitchell? It
is 7:55, so I think it's about time we start doing some reading. So if you are coming on now, we've already got looks like we're going to have 9 readings today. So we've already got 9, and we were only supposed to do 8, so we did go over. So here's what you want to do. If you did not get a reading, then you want to choose a number between 1 and 9, and when that number comes up, you'll get their reading as well as yours. So I hope that makes sense. So basically, you're going to tag on to somebody else's reading, 1 through 9. So you don't get to choose because we've already chosen, but if you didn't get chosen, then you just say, okay, let me go with number 5. So when number 5 comes up, who happens to be Tiana, then you and Tiana are going to get the same reading, but it's mainly directed at her, but you just take that as part of your message. And then the other thing, I'm going to tell you who's next, and you get your question typed in, but don't hit enter yet until we say hit enter, so that we can prepare for it. And we want you to just ask a simple question. Don't write a book in there, or you can just do love life. You can just do finances. You can just do health. Just an area. So Denise, Denise, get your question ready. And then Robin, you're next. And then after Robin is Huff. So you guys get your questions ready, but don't hit enter yet. Denise, you can go ahead and hit enter. And then once we see your question, we'll do a 1 card for each of us, a reading. So you get a 2-card reading. Sound good, V?
Yeah, sounds good. What you reading with tonight?
Legacy. I went with Legacy tonight. Legacy of the Divine Tarot.
I actually had a new one, The Antique Anatomy.
Oh.
So this one has, it's like a vintage, so there's elixirs for cups.
Oh, nice.
And there's, I'm in love with skulls. There's blades for for swords.
Okay.
It's all anatomical.
Okay, cool. And is it a little Marseille-like?
No.
Okay.
No. It's none of the pictures, of course, line up because this is the Fool. And it's like flowers.
Oh,
so
okay, cool.
it's anatomical. Lots of skeletons, lots of flowers.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Potions type of thing.
So
it was by Black in the Moon.
Oh, cool.
Anybody's familiar with her?
So Denise, go ahead and hit enter with your question, Denise, so we can see your question or your area that we want to look into. And if Denise, if you're not here, we need to. Yeah. So. Cool. So, you know what? Denise, hit enter, but Robin, go ahead and hit enter as well. And you guys keep your comments to just a little minimum while we're working with them so they can reply. As we read for you, if something makes sense, hit back and say that makes sense or what does or what doesn't, just so we know in the moment. So, okay, Denise, yay, woohoo. Sorry, guys, just a general career reading. Okay, good. So, you want to go first? You want me to?
I will go first this time,
okay.
I guess. Career for Denise. Career. The High Priestess. So, in regards to career,
and this is reading number 1 if you chose number 1 with Denise.
The High Priestess here is all about trusting yourself. Okay? So when it comes to career, it's calling you to really trust yourself, to go beyond what you're actually seeing physically in front of you, and to use your intuition to make conclusions about what may be going on in the background. I don't know if there's some things that are going on you're trying to make heads or tails of, but you already know what's going on. You already know what you need to do, and a lot of it just comes from trusting yourself about either moving forward or stepping out.
Cool. All right. And Denise, general career reading question from me, King of Swords. I definitely feel like it's time to, go after what you want. And I'm being shown a pen and paper. So I really think it's time to maybe write down I'm not a big fan of 1, 5, 10, 20-year goals, only because I think we're so fluid sometimes. But if you do go that route to start writing some things down, be real flexible and fewer details about levels of achievement and more how you feel about those levels of achievement. But yeah, I think it's also I'm being shown something to do with work, either busting in the door, asking for a raise or something. I feel like you need to express yourself a little bit at work, and take ownership of your path and your journey. So
your worth. You know your worth.
Hope that makes some sense. Okay, so number 2, Robin, she said finances and love.
Okay.
Oh, and
all right.
She said and career if possible. We'll see what comes up. Finances, career, love. Basically, the use.
Career, love. Let's see what comes up. For Robin, I have the 10 of Wands. So first off, they're telling me that you have a lot on your plate when it comes to love, finances, and career. There's a lot of responsibilities that you are in charge of and to take care of. And I just want to make sure that you are in that equation, because the thing is, finances, career, and love is all based on the relationship that you have with yourself. So make sure that you're adding yourself to the equation so you can continue to carry the torches of all of these other things in your life. If there's some oppressive things or some burdensome things, it may be time for you to offload what is no longer working to make space for what's on its way. Okay.
And I love that she asked like a whole bunch and she got a 10 of wands. So for me, 8 of swords. And also you're caught up in your own web here too. So I love that you're like, and career if we can. And this is literally like, this is what this card is. Let me add another thing to it. And I think this can get you a little bit trapped. But once again, this card, I love it because remember, this woman is trapped in her own web that she weaved, and there are 8 swords right there to cut her down. So she can get herself out of this. She can, oh my gosh, I just love the image Spirit gave me. Imagine you're knitting a sweater, and the last like 5 rows of knit you don't like. What do? You unravel. You unravel. They show me that like the unraveling is bringing it back to where you can kind of either start fresh again or something. So unravel is not a bad thing in this reading. It's more of a, like getting yourself out of that web kind of a feel. So that was number 2 for Robin. I see Huff put hers in. So Jean, go ahead and get your question ready and hit enter. And we're going to do Huff now. She said health, friend, love.
Okay, well, then she says health, friendship, and finances.
Oh, right. she corrected.
All right, health, friendship, and finances.
I don't know if you meant the health of a friend that you love.
The sun.
Ooh.
All right. So in regards to health, friendship, and finances, the sun shows that everything is really going according to the way that it should. There's a lot of bright points, there's a lot of successes, but I'm feeling like you're not seeing the successes. You're only kind of seeing what you don't have. This is also talking about ego. You can really be doing a great job, but sometimes that ego is a lot bigger, and it's something you need more. You need to figure things out better. So there's an awakening that is happening in all of those areas that you need to stand up and pay attention to. It's a lot more positive than you think. Okay?
All right. And Huff, health, friendship, finances. Woo, 9 of wands. Stop trying so hard. The word allow comes in. So allow a little bit more. Set the intention of how you want to feel, and then allow that health, friendship, that finance, allow it to come to you. Like we talked earlier tonight, know your worth. Don't overwork yourself to get to heaven because you already own heaven. You're already part of heaven. You're just on a journey. Anytime you want to come home, you're good. So stop trying so hard, I think, is the overwhelming message here. And I know Robin said, amazing. Thank you, Robin. You're welcome. Hey, Kristen, we've already got all the 9 that we're reading. I know you wrote CD Finances Love. So unfortunately, we pick a number now from 4 through 9. Anybody who is not on our list, pick a number 4 through 9 because that's where we are, and just choose that number and let that reading resonate with you as well. So same with you, Yarelis. We've already picked all of our that we're going to be able to get to tonight. Ooh, V, I just saw some orbs floating in front of you.
Did you?
Yes, we have to remember what this is. So, all right, so Jean is next, and then after Jean, Tiana, get your question and go ahead and put it in. And after Tiana, Margot, but Margot, hold on your question just a moment. So Jean said general life.
All right, I had 2 cards.
Thanks, Kristen.
For general life, I have the Knight of Elixirs, which is the Knight of Cups, and then in reverse, and then the 5 of Elixirs, which is the 5 of Cups. All right, so
both 5s?
5. Yeah, 5 of Cups and the Knight of Cups.
I know, Jean. This is good.
So, in regards to general life, this is talking about, number 1, you having a very big heart and wearing it on your sleeve, but there's also some mood swings that you're going through. Wanting things to be one way, but then not turning out and possibly having tantrums because of it. This 5 of Cups here just talks about you need to look at the gratitude. Once again, looking at all of the things that you don't have is not going to open the gate for you to have more. Okay? There's a lot of emotional things that you're needing to work through in order to deal with the other areas of your life, because this up and down, this roller coaster is really taking you off task. So let's start paying attention to the gratitude, saying thank you for what you do have, and letting go of, whatever has fallen away from your life and letting it be. Okay?
Beautiful. Oh, Jean, I hope you heard that. Oh, that was a good one. And for Jean, life in general, hermit. Oh, get out of your cave. This is Virgo energy, and it's okay to be a hermit every once in a while, but you got to get out of your cave to experience life a little bit, because we are still in Virgo season, so I'm not going to say do it right now, but real soon we're going to step out of Virgo into Libra, and that's when it's time to fly. So don't get too used to being all alone by yourself in that cave, that Virgo critical self-deprecating, energy. Get ready to get out and have a little bit of fun. So there you go.
And I just wanted to add a little more because I'm actually looking at this card, this 5 of elixirs, and on here there's morphine, there's cyanide, and passion tincture. So if you are self-medicating in any way, shape, or form, cut it out.
I love it. So all right, we're moving on to Tiana, and you guys who part of the reason we already have the people, if you show up early, you get on the list early. And we try to get people who are kind of first timers too. So if you've already had a reading, we ask for some people to step down just a little bit. So Tiana is next. And then Margot, hit your question. We'll get to you after Tiana. Tiana said career and spirit. Career and spirit. Career and spirit. I feel like I had a tincture. It's been 27 years.
For career and spirit.
What is that?
Judgment in reverse.
Ooh.
So for career, I want to say, actually for both, you're being awakened to your calling. Okay?
I was going to say, resurrect that shit.
Right. You're being awakened to your calling, and it is definitely for purpose. Don't worry about what the naysayers may be saying. Don't worry about what's going on around you. Like racehorse, like we were talking about, put your blinders on. All you see is the finish line in front of you. Don't worry about what people are doing around you for both career and spirit. They're both being resurrected. They're both showing you new light. And I feel like there could be a career in working with spirit, but you have to accept it. You have to say, this is what I'm doing and this is where I'm going, and not give a damn who says what, because you are answering your own call. Okay?
And Tiana is number 5 for you guys. So Margot, make sure you hit your question. There you go. Good. So Tiana, and for me, shut up!
You better hush it, Wonder Twins.
Wonder Twin powers activate. Bumping. So I love it. So resurrect that shit. But for me, this card really is about being freed from all the stuff that's been holding you back. So it's time to step out. The trumpet has been blown. You are no longer trapped in that grave. For me, this card never has really had the word judgment involved with it. It's been more about raising from the dead and moving on, because you've been asleep. You've been asleep. You've been waiting for this resurrection time, this calling, so to speak. So yeah. There's your message. Oh my gosh, that's hysterical. So Margot is number 6. She is next, and then after Margot, Sonia. So Sonia, get your question ready to go, and then after Sonia will be Mindy.
All right. Margot says finances and health. All right.
Please and thank you,
Margot. All right. I have the Hermit in reverse. All right. So finances and health. Finances, time for you to sit down and really look at the numbers with your finances. Look at your numbers, figuring out what you need versus what don't you need anymore. What needs versus wants. Okay. It really is time for you to sit down with your budget and look at it to figure out where you're going to go with it. Some solitude, some time alone. Maybe you're spending too much money going out with people, which is not a bad thing, but if you don't have it, don't do it, okay? If we're talking about health, like the Hermit is related to Virgo, so you may be very health conscious, looking at things internally that are going on with you, mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, and really working from the inside to let it transform you externally, okay? So, and it makes me think of depression in some way. If you are feeling those feelings of depression, definitely reach out to someone that you can talk to, that you can get in touch with, that you can speak about those feelings to. Don't hermit and hold yourself up thinking you can handle it all. Sometimes we can and sometimes we can't. So reach out if you need it.
Tiana, glad to know that was good.
Oh, good.
So, and hey, Barrett. So, hey, Urellis, thank you. We love being together too. So, where was it again? Career, what was it?
Career and health.
Who am I reading for? Marco, finance and health. So finance and health. Okay. First of all, with finances, manifest it, create it, believe you are worthy and deserving. Health, once again, manifest it, create it, but and set out a plan. And when it comes to your health, I really feel like you want to see yourself in the most positive light you can. Something that, it's funny, I can't believe I didn't talk about it earlier, talking about growing up. But one of the things that happened to me was, my older brother was pretty vocally, abusive, verbally abusive about, being the fat one, name calling, all this kind of stuff. But one day he just kind of stopped. But you know what? I kept calling myself those names in the mirror. I kept looking. The things we will say to ourselves in the mirror, we would never let a person on the street say to us. We will fight, but we'll say those things to ourselves. So I really feel like there's a component of that for you, Margot, about really being conscious when you walk by the mirror. When I walk by a mirror, I walk by and I go, damn. And I know I'm not perfect and I'm not all that, but for me, I'm damn. Because it used to be fat. I would grab all the places on my body and squeeze them and say how fat they are. And every once in a while, I still catch myself doing that. But I feel like there's a big component for you, Margot, in that. So really see yourself in that. And Margot, this is so funny, but I want you to Google like what your name means, because I have a feeling it means something like regal and beauty. And I want you to hold on to that. And your last name is Bell. I mean, doesn't that mean like beauty or something? So it's like, I think your name says who you are, and you just don't believe it yet. You don't believe it yet. So
that's beautiful.
So yeah, and it's funny, I hear you say that, and I'm thinking, that was pretty profound. And I'm just letting, this is just coming from spirit. So that's what I know I'm not connected, because I don't even realize what I'm saying. So thank you, Margot. And Sonia is number 7. She is next. It's a general life. And Mindy, get your question. Go ahead and hit enter for your question. And we'll go to Sonia now. Then Mindy, Sonia number 7, Mindy number 8.
All right, Sonia. There's a little sad face that my general life. Oh no. So for you, I have judgment upright this time. So Sonia, once again, this judgment card here is talking about you answering your call and everything that's going on in your life. I feel like there's some decisions that you need to make, but you may be stopping yourself from making those decisions because you're worried about how people will receive you. But don't, if you feel called to go in whichever direction you want to go in life, go in that direction. Oftentimes when we restrict ourselves, that's when we find that we're most unhappy. When we restrict ourselves, we hold ourselves and say, no, we can't do that. No, we can't do that. And then we're living this shell of a life that and looking at what we could possibly have, and being in this coffin, so to speak. So it's like, resurrect yourself, get up out of what I shouldn't be doing and figure out, well, how can I do it if I feel called or if I feel led to? Okay.
I'm not pulled the card yet, but one thing that I learned in my corporate world, and it was such a valuable lesson. My director said, Mitch, it's okay if you complain and tell me all the problems, but I also need you to bring me the solutions.
Yeah.
And I thought, God, that was so freeing, because I could walk in and go, I am so pissed, this and that and this and that. And I said, but here's what I think we need to do. And then I would go there. So who's it? This is Sonia. So general life, Sonia. For you, the high priestess. I love this because I think you don't realize just how intelligent you are, how in tune you are, how wise you are. I have a feeling that you might be a rock star in your day job or corporate life or wherever you do, but then you go to family, to friends, and they don't see how powerful you are. So you have to let me know if that feels right, because this is like that classic when women really started getting into the workforce and they would go into the office and they would be like amazing, but then they would come home to that sad man stuck in the 40s and 50s, and he would expect dinner, tell them what to do, belittle them, and it was all about control and manipulation. But I feel like you are more powerful than you know you are right now. So you've got to start finding and believing in yourself. And listen to what V said. And you guys, this recording will be out there. Plus, I save it to YouTube, so you can come back and listen to your reading that we give you again and again. All right, so that was number 7. So Mindy is number 8. And then we've got Joanne, number 9. That will be the last one for tonight. So Joanne, click your question. And V, Sonia, you are welcome. Sending you lots of high vibrations.
All right, Mindy says, since I'm spirit here in a physical body, am I focusing in the right direction toward my spirituality and organized religion? All right, so are you going in the right direction? Mindy going in the right direction. Empress reverse. Honestly, I believe that you are going in the right direction. Right now, it's feeling home for you, feeling like comfort. It's nourishing. What you're doing right now to fortify yourself feels like a warm bowl of oatmeal. Like you're really putting some meat on your bone. No, you're making it's hearty for you. Whatever you're studying, whatever you're learning, you're giving that to yourself. You're giving that to your spirit. So continue to nourish, continue to feed, continue to, fatten up, so to speak, your internal workings when you're dealing with religion and when you're dealing with spirituality, because they're all going to, really round you out, so to speak, externally and all of the things that you involve yourself in. So, are you on the right track? I think so.
So, and Mindy, before I pull the card, because we go way back being online together, one day we're going to meet in person, one day. But Mindy, I believe, and I love how you started off, I'm spirit in physical form, and I'm getting really emotional. Mindy, I believe you are where you are for a really high, important reason. I believe that you are in that organized religion because you are there to really show love and compassion, and also to be a voice of change, a voice of, I don't want to say reason, but you're a voice, and also to your family, because I know your family is large and it's big. So the card for you is 5 of coins, and it's very interesting because you are the one that this person is reaching out to. And I don't think I've ever said that. If I have, maybe one time in 20 years. But you are the person that this woman is reaching out to. And that's what I think is so important, is you are the one, because I think where you are in your organized religion, you can affect probably a lot of good, probably a greater good than if you stepped out of it. And I think and Mindy, I see past lives for you. And again, I think it's because we know each other. And I see you part of other organized religions in the past and past lives where you did not do what you're doing now. And that is make the changes. You just followed along, duck line, got in the line and went. So yeah. And Mindy, I know you say you want to walk away, but I think what keeps you there is a higher calling. That's what I would say meditate on and ask Spirit to show you in dreams and in signs and symbols and just in people's dialogue of whether it is you really need to stay there or you're just scared and trapped. But I think there's something really powerful there for you too. So,
and going on with that Emperor, something for you to birth from this. So,
yeah. Beautiful. That was number 8. So, all right, the last one for tonight. Hey, Amir. Last one tonight is Joanne, number 9.
Thank you, Sonia.
So, yes. So, Joanne, number 9. It's so funny. The devil popped out. And, of course, what is Joanne saying? Lots of fear, life in general. Mindy, you're welcome.
So, lots of fear, life in general, and spirit. Yeah. All right. Life in general and spirit. 2 cards. So I can't pull them great. 6 of coins in reverse, and the 5 of swords or 5 of blades in reverse. So, with this 6 of coins and this 5 of blades, it's funny because they kind of work opposite one another. This 6 of coins is about generosity, but I feel as though you're giving much more than you're actually receiving. The reciprocity, the balance is off. And that's where a lot of fear can creep in, because it feels like you're doing a lot, but you're not being fulfilled. Okay, and then you continue to do more, because I think it's a feeling of, I want to do more so that I can get more, but the getting more isn't coming in. But then this 5 of swords also talks about this element of defeat. But for me, this is also about perfection. It doesn't have to be perfect to be right. So doing things in your own way is just fine. It doesn't have to be done a certain way, just as long as it gets done. So life, however you decide to live it, live it. It doesn't have to go by anybody's standards but your own. But make sure that the energy that you're giving out, you're getting back. And if that balance is off, then maybe you need to pull back and step out. Okay?
So someone make that a meme. It doesn't have to be perfect to be right.
Yes,
period. Make that a meme. All right. So, and for Joanne, lots of fear, life in general, and spirit question. Sink into the good stuff. 10 of Cups. I want you to sink into what you know to be true. I don't often say this because I feel like the gratitude journals and everything are a little bit overrated and overplayed, but I really would get into habit of kind of just on a daily basis when you're feeling kind of blue and down, and this goes for anybody, just pause and say, you know what, I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for my hair. I'm grateful for that I'm 6'1", that I live in Florida, that Hurricane Dorian passed us by, just the grateful things, and don't even add it up with, but I feel bad for the people who just hold on to what you're grateful for. And I think that would make a big difference. But also, and I'm going to be honest too, if you do have pets in your life, connect with them. They are so healing. Just petting them and rubbing them, it can really make a difference in your life. So I really feel like that will help you as well, connecting to them. So cool. So that was for Joanne number 9. Hey, Michelle.
Hi, Michelle.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Yay.
Well, cool. Well, you guys, we are kind of coming to a close here. And we thank you. We thank you very much for being here tonight. So, This is what I meant to say, and I'm glad Spirit just reminded me. When you come on this show with us, this time together with us, and really anytime you're gathered with others of like mind and there's the love and the high vibration flowing through the chat, it's not one of those heated conversation and debates with things going on, but this is truly a high vibrational, loving, kind, caring place. Know that just by you being here, you're receiving that energy. You may walk away feeling good and not even know why, and just hold on to that. You need to realize that when you get a reading, and it may be just one card from me, one card from V, you've got, 100 hearts, maybe 20, 30 people that are watching with us, and they're all sending that same energy to you. So this is a collective thing.
Yes.
And, we're coming here. V and I are supporting in the highest vibration we can. And then you guys are coming in supporting as well. So just being here, watching this in the archive, the replay, you have the ability to receive that beautiful, beautiful energy that we've set forth. So
and I just want to say thank you guys for showing up when you guys do show up. Because we're human. And we like to talk about the humanness within what it is that we do, because we recognize that you guys are light workers and you guys are human as well. So it's not this pedestal, so to speak, that we're on, and we don't go through human things. So I appreciate you guys holding space for us to be open and to be vulnerable and to be transparent, to say that we're all in the same. We're all in this together. We're all in this together. So I just want to say thank you guys for, listening to us and, putting up the hearts and saying, yes, I agree, and I've been there, because then it doesn't make us feel like we are alone.
Yeah. And go up in the highest level that you can and just look down, and you'll see that we are all one. We are all one. Just, we're experiencing this individual little life in this matrix as your individual self.
Yep.
So, and we will definitely be back. We'll talk behind the scenes. It'll either be like, I'm gone for 2 weeks on vacation. So it'll either be like Monday, the 30th of September or October 7th. We'll figure out which day works best, and you'll be seeing that. So thank you. And I will say, the beautiful, powerful, wonderful, awesome sexiness in me sees and recognizes the beautiful, powerful, wonderful, awesome sexiness in you. Namaste.
Namaste.
All right. Thanks for coming on, you guys.
Hey, guys. Mwah.
Bye.
Bye.